time to go on.
Yes.
Um, Konami, more Konami news. There are possible remakes of Metal Gear Solid 3, Silent Hills, and Castlevania. Now, we had heard of the Metal Gear Solid remake, but there's been like no news of that. And
While
now these are all rumors also, so there's no guarantee that these remakes are gonna appear in the next 2-3 years or whatever. These are just rumors at this point.
Right.
But the thing is, Metal Gear Solid 3 and Silent Hills, if they do remake those games, I heard that other companies want to help Konami with that. Unfortunately, Konami would be working by themselves if they did a remake of Castlevania. Imagine Castlevania turning out like eFootball did.
If they do that, that'll be fucked up because I know that there's an HD port of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 together in a pack.
Yep.
I just bought it last week on my payday. I bought the Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 HD port for the 360, the Castlevania of the first 5 games of Castlevania for the 360, and I think I bought another Watch Dogs double pack, which was the Watch Dogs 1 and 2 together, all for $25-$30. That's it. So
That's not bad. I have seen the 2 and 3 HD upgrades of Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation 3, but that package also came with Peace Walker, which was a PSP game originally.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Dogs. I liked the first Watch Dogs. I've beaten that. I didn't like Watch Dogs 2. And the Castlevania games that you said you got? Which ones were those?
There were the first 5 Castlevania, Castlevania 2, Castlevania 3. Not sure about if it's called Castlevania 4 after that, but definitely the first 3 I have already for the 360 version. And because they released it on the 360 years ago, back in 2010, 2012. And I heard of something like that where they released for the. Because I've been hearing about Metal Gear Solid for a while with the HD ports, but the Castlevania they started as early as 2012 to release that to the public as a remaster or HD style type of game. So I'm not sure what to call it. A remaster is more of an HD quality. What I saw the pictures of, because I only saw the screenshots and the trailer, and unfortunately, I didn't get just to play that yet because of my sleep 3 days straight. So it's like I was that much in pain from all my medical procedures. So hopefully by next week I'll record it, and by next podcast we can do a little small review of the matter if you want. So
yeah. So back to the rumored remakes. I'm kind of tired of hearing about these remakes that are rumored, especially with Metal Gear Solid, because first it was Metal Gear Solid's going to be remade, now they're jumping all the way to 3. I get it, a lot of people hate it too. But I'm just like, if we're going to keep hearing about these remakes, give me something. I'm just tired of hearing, oh, this game's going to be remade, and then 2 years down the road, it's like, where is it?
Well, we could say the same with Final Fantasy VII Remake, because back in 2015, they released a trailer, and it took them 4 years later to make a new trailer of up to date what's going on with the game itself. So there are possibilities that it may take up to 5 years for a remake of something for the next gen console, which is the PS5, the Xbox Series S and X. It's all from the possibilities. Keep your fingers crossed, right? So
yeah, but my point is, why would you jump? Like, say they said they were going to remake Metal Gear Solid. Okay, they wouldn't. Normally, a company wouldn't jump to their next project without having a definitive finish to their previous product or project that they announced. But now we're hearing Metal Gear Solid 3. It's like, wait a minute. You didn't even come. Nothing came through with Metal Gear Solid. What's the story on that?
Yeah, it does seem weird to put the three before the one. I would rather have them take their time. What happens that if they took their time to do one, two, and three together as a trilogy remake, that I will buy for the PS5 alone for. Because I already got Final Fantasy VII Remake. You already have the Nickelodeon Brawl that might be for the PS5 as well. So you're accumulating games for people to buy later on in the future when the shortage of chips starts to return back to normalcy with supply of chips for the games consoles. Because now I'm hearing that there's a shortage of all sorts of electronics and systems and services going haywire now. It is not
it's not just it's not just computers. I mean, even cars. They're having shortage of chips on cars that that control like these new cars anyway that have like all these dashboard menus and everything. They're having a shortage of chips on those. I mean, everything's basically there's basically a shortage of almost everything.
Oh yeah.
I'm just lucky that at least in my area there really hasn't been a shortage on food.
Surprisingly, too, my area too, but New York City, because New York City, we're a city, so we rely on the outskirts, the outside, like upstate New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware. We have our own distribution plant within my town, Jamaica, Queens, but that's just only for cotton candy and milk, pretty much, and that's for distribution. But other than that, we also have, upstate with the milk supply, the milk farms and stuff. So it's getting to be a shortage. You're right, but sometimes I've become too chaotic and too desperate, to get that.
Nothing too desperate, at least yet.
Yes.
I'm just happy living down here. Oranges, I have oranges and blueberries growing in my backyard. So if worst ever came to worst, at least I'll have fruit.
Yeah, oranges and blueberries, huh? All right, you make yourself an orange blueberry pie.
Well, I wouldn't be able to use eggs in the pie, so I don't know how well that would taste.
There should be all those non-egg pie shells, or look around. But it's expensive though, I bet. That should have the non-GMO, gluten-free, non-egg, veggie base. There's no something like that soaring on the internet. That's the only way you can do it, right? Because there's no supermarket that has.
Well, I never had pie. That's the thing.
What's that?
I never had pie of any kind.
Really?
Yeah.
No blueberry pie, raspberry pie.
Nope.
Not even lemon meringue pie. No. Oh man,
nope.
You're missing out.
That. Yeah, tell me about it. I've also never had waffles or pancakes for breakfast.
No pancakes. Okay, waffles is one thing because that takes as a bitch to maintain. But the pancakes should be like, you want to eat like 10 of them one time.
They have eggs in them.
I know.
And another thing, I never had eggs for breakfast.
There should be like some sort of like veggie-based type of dairy, like veggie-based type of pancake mix for you. I guarantee it's out there for you.
I don't know about that because also, well, first off, I don't know how that garbage would taste. Secondly, I'm not even sure if it's available down here. And I ain't paying.
Amazon. Amazon has everything.
Yeah, Amazon also with inflated prices too.
Depends on which one, because if you go for the cheapest DVDs or the cheapest candy, they'll sell for one for 99 cents and then one movie for like $3, $4, $5. And if you get it before, like within a few hours, it would increase in price. And after when you buy it, it's not going to increase too much, but it's still a fair amount of price to buy it from still. There's something like stupid Amazon where it's like you buy a DVD for like say $5 and it goes with like $25 within a few days. That I don't like that, That's very grimy,
I've actually never experienced that because like if I buy something on Amazon, I just buy it right then and there. I never leave it in my cart for a few days because, what if they're out of stock when I go back to actually buy it?
Yeah.
But back to Konami's possible remakes. But again, everyone's wanted Silent Hill since the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One came out.
Definitely.
When they released that Silent Hills demo.
I never got.
So it'd be nice.
If I can say this though, I never got involved with Silent Hill games. Never did. I see
Really?
I see trailers of it on TV or online through the Xbox store or whatever, but never got a chance to play the original trilogy of Silent Hill, let alone any Silent Hill game. So
I haven't played the trilogy itself, but I played like one or two games.
okay,
Um, but I never got far in them. Also, um, but again, I'm with this whole eFootball fiasco. I just have no faith in Konami putting out a quality product.
they cut back a lot of staff over her over the years too. Ever since Metal Gear Solid 5 was released, well, I should say when Metal Gear Survivor was released. Excuse me, the zombie game. So sorry about that, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's alright. So yeah, I just have no faith in them, and that's what you get when you release crappy products. And like again, tying it back to eFootball, if that's what you're going to release as a free to play product, how do I know you're going to put any more work into a product that you expect people to pay for?
Yeah.
Look how they kicked Hideo Kojima out of the company.
And then give him the recognition in the following Games Awards that year.
Right.
Was it 2015 or 2016 with the Metal Gear Solid 5 game? You know?
Yeah, I think Jeff Keighley even called him out on it. Called out Konami for doing that. If I remember the story.
Yeah, these companies, they don't have no respect for their workers. I mean, I'm not trying to say that the company that cannot do strict business, like the saying goes from the book, business is business, and death of a salesman. But come on now, like Kojima is like a god in the gaming industry itself for how many decades, especially since Metal Gear Solid 1. So you have to give the guy props that he did a damn good job of Metal Gear Solid 1. Even if today's younger gamers don't look into that shit, how bad the graphics were in their perspective, but in our perspective as a 30 and above, we're like, hey, we love this game. It's the best damn good game at one of its time. And you gotta just drop fucking Kojima like a rock, like a piece of trash.
Yeah. And then Konami wonders why they have such bad PR about them.
And bad actors and workers.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, their last Metal Gear Solid game is gonna be worse than Survivor.
Oh God.
So if they're gonna do this HD remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 along with Metal Gear Solid 1, I hope the third one will be messed up, but the first one will be the best one, second best. At least that's just behind that of Twin Snakes, something like that. So that's how I look at it like that. I hope they'll do a good job, at least on the first one.
Well, do you feel what Castlevania might be like if it's made completely in-house in Konami?
Well, they did a good job with Castlevania from the screenshots I saw when I bought the bundle pack from the Xbox store. As far as with this PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PS5, scenario, we're not sure. It's uncertain. But if they did a good job with the 360 versions, I'm sure they'll do that. They'll do something slightly better. Because for the last at least 7 years, we've been seeing like horrible gameplay or game quality of games. But before they were released, they were considered to be the best of the best because of the presentation of the games. They were in HD, 1080p, or if not 4K. They were 60 frames, now 120 frames per second. They have ray tracing like that of the Cyberpunk 2077. We saw all this on at the E3 videos over the 7-8 years. And all of a sudden, when they release it officially on the Xbox store or the PS4 store, it's basic. It's basic graphics, basic everything. Like they lied to us. And after all this constant lying, I'm not going to keep buying. I'm going to stick with my old games that I still haven't played in years yet. I still have the Sega collection I bought for the PS2 4 years ago, still wrapped up in my pile of games next to me. That's how many games and DVDs I have of movies and sports and such, But it's ridiculous on how Konami guys like companies like Konami, businesses like that of like say EA, Activision, they just took things for granted over the years, and now it's with Blizzard. I mean that's like a horrible case of itself. I mean, hell, if you and I were to get together with 1,000 other people, we could buy out Blizzard stock if we would get a chance to. So I've only bought like $1 worth of stock the other month. But if we get like fucking like 1,000 people buy like fucking 10 stocks per person, that'd be great. It would increase the value, and over time we sell like it is and make money. That'd be great.
Yeah. But I mean, it's these companies are destroying their own reputation.
Yeah.
And if they destroy their own reputation, they can do whatever they want. They want to kill their company. But don't expect people to buy your game. But don't all of a sudden be like, why aren't people buying our games? Mm-hmm. Well, if you destroyed your own reputation, why would anyone trust you?